Brilliance Audio presents Choose Me by Tess Gerritsen and Gary Braver. Performed by Kirsten Potter. There are dozens of ways to kill yourself, and in the course of her 32 years working for Boston PD, Detective Frankie Loomis has probably come across them all. There was the mother of 6, overwhelmed by the pandemonium of her household, who locked herself in a bathroom, slashed her wrists, and peacefully drifted unconscious in a bathtub of warm water. There was the bankrupt businessman who fastened his $500 ostrich leather belt to a doorknob, looped the belt around his neck, and simply sat down, using his own weight to usher him down a painless road to oblivion. There was the over-the-hill actress, despondent over her dwindling prospects for new roles, who swallowed a handful of dilaudid tablets, donned a pink silk nightgown, and stretched out on her bed, serene as Sleeping Beauty. They chose private, unspectacular exits, and were considerate enough to leave behind a minimum of mess for the living to clean up. Unlike this girl. The body has already been bagged and removed by the ME, and the sidewalk, splattered with her blood, will eventually be washed clean by the falling rain, but Frankie can still see watery rivulets of it trickling toward the gutter. In the flashing rack of lights of the police cruisers, those bloody streaks gleam as black as oil. It is now 5:45 a.m., an hour before sunrise, and she wonders how long the girl was lying here before the alert Lyft driver, passing by on his way home after dropping off his passenger at 3:15 a.m., spotted the body and realized it was not just a bundle of clothes on the sidewalk. Frankie rises to her feet and peers up through the falling rain at the apartment balcony. It is a 5-story drop, straight down, clearly high enough to account for the trauma. The shattered teeth, the caved-in face, gruesome details that probably didn't cross the girl's mind when she climbed over the railing and made her fatal swan dive onto the sidewalk below. Frankie is the mother of twin 18-year-old daughters, so she knows firsthand how catastrophically impulsive young people can be. If only this girl had paused long enough to consider the alternatives to suicide. If only she'd thought about what happens to a body when it smashes into concrete, and what such an impact does to a pretty face and perfect teeth. "I think we're done here. Let's just go home," says her partner, McClellan. He holds a pink umbrella that clearly belongs to his wife, and he is shivering beneath the dripping paisley dome. "My shoes are soaked." "Has anyone found her cell phone?" she asks. "Nah. Let's go back upstairs and check her apartment." "Again? Her phone has to be around here somewhere." "Maybe she didn't have one." "Come on, Mac. Every kid her age has a phone practically grafted to their hands." "Maybe she lost it, or some asshole passing by here picked it up off the sidewalk after she fell." Frankie looks down at the fading halo of blood, marking where the girl's head landed. Unlike a human body, a cell phone in a hard case can survive a 5-story fall. Perhaps Mac is right. Perhaps a passerby came upon the scene, a passerby whose first impulse wasn't to render aid or call the police, but to snatch the victim's valuables. It should not surprise her. 3 decades as a cop have regularly shaken Frankie's faith in humanity. She points across the street to a security camera mounted on the building that's facing them. "If someone did make off with a phone, that camera should have picked it up." "Yeah, maybe." Max sneezes, clearly too miserable to care. "I'll pull the video in the morning." "Let's go back upstairs, see if we missed anything." "You know what I miss? My bed," Mac whines, but he resignedly follows her around the corner to the apartment building's entrance. Like the building itself, the elevator is old, and it's painfully slow. As it climbs to the 5th floor, both Frankie and Mac are too weary and dispirited to say a word. The cold weather has inflamed Mac's rosacea, and under the harsh elevator lights, his nose and cheeks are neon red. She knows he is sensitive about his condition, so she avoids looking at him and stares straight ahead, counting the floors until the door finally creaks open. A patrolman stands guarding the door to apartment 510, a numbingly boring task at this early hour, and he gives the two detectives a half-hearted wave. Yet another cop who'd rather be home in his own bed.